Dexter has always had a heart bigger than the world. At just 10 years old, he walks home from school every day, a path he has taken alone since he felt grown enough to do it. It was an autumn afternoon, the wind blowing dry leaves onto the sidewalk, creating a crunchy carpet under his feet. The sky was tinted with orange and pink, promising a cool evening. In his hands, Dexter held tightly the sandwich his mother had made for his snack, 2 thick slices of whole wheat bread with a generous layer of peanut butter and homemade strawberry jam. Despite his rumbling stomach, his thoughts were focused on the math exam he had just taken. As he turned the corner of his street, Dexter noticed a figure huddled under the small shelter of the bus stop. It was a woman whose tired appearance and worn clothes indicated she might be living on the street. Her eyes were fixed on an indistinct point, and a small bag was pressed against her body as if it contained her entire world. The woman seemed to notice his presence and looked up with a gaze filled with profound sadness, but also a spark of curiosity.
"Hello. I was wondering if you wanted a sandwich. I have one here that my mother made,"
said Dexter, extending the sandwich towards her. The woman was surprised, her eyes widening slightly at the sight of the food.
"You do that? Share your snack with me?"
she asked, her voice marked by the weather and uncertainty.
"My mother always says we should share what we have with those in need,"
Dexter replied. With trembling hands, she accepted the sandwich, and for a brief moment, her fingers touched Dexter's, expressing silent gratitude.
"Thank you, young man. You have no idea what this means to me today. What is your name?"
asked Dexter, feeling that this was not just an act of giving but a moment of human connection.
"Lily,"
she responded.
"My name is Lily."
The conversation that followed revealed to Dexter not only Lily's story, but also opened his eyes to realities he had never imagined. The circumstances that can lead a person to lose everything, the daily struggle for survival on the streets, and the strength needed to face each day with hope. He didn't know it yet, but this encounter would be the first of many, each taking him further on a journey of discovery and personal growth, where generosity proved to be the key to understanding and transforming the world around him. The next morning, after his meeting with Lily, Dexter woke up to the unusual sound of helicopter blades slicing through the air, a noise uncommon in the quiet neighborhood where he lived. Through his bedroom window, he saw a black helicopter flying unusually low over his house. The sight was so unexpected that he rubbed his eyes, thinking he was dreaming. Dexter rushed into the yard, followed by his parents, who had also been awakened by the noise. They all looked up with expressions of confusion and concern. The helicopter seemed to be making a circular motion, as if searching for something or someone.
"What on earth is happening?"
asked his mother, shading her eyes from the sun with a suspicious look.
"They must be looking for someone,"
speculated his father, equally perplexed. Dexter's heart raced as he thought of Lily. Could the helicopter be related to their encounter the previous day? He had only given a sandwich to a woman in need, but was there more to her story that he didn't know? Determined to find out, Dexter hopped on his bike and decided to follow the helicopter as far as he could. Pedaling through the streets, he observed the helicopter performing precise maneuvers in the air, clearly searching for something. After a few minutes, the helicopter landed in a field not far from Dexter's house. With a tight heart, he approached. A man dressed in a black suit descended from the helicopter and began speaking on a cell phone. Dexter hid behind a bush, trying to listen to the conversation.
"Yes, we're on site. No, nothing yet, but we will keep searching,"
said the enigmatic man. As soon as the man hung up his phone, Dexter emerged from his hiding spot and cautiously approached.
"Excuse me, sir,"
Dexter called out, his voice a mix of nervousness and courage. The man turned quickly, surprised.
"Who are you? How did you get here?" "My name is Dexter. I live nearby. I just wanted to know why a helicopter is flying so low near my house. Is there a problem?"
Dexter asked, trying to appear more confident than he felt. The man looked at Dexter for a moment, clearly contemplating what he should do.
There's nothing to worry about, young man. We're just conducting a standard search. Helicopters can be a nuisance to the neighborhood. It seems serious,
Dexter insisted, not entirely convinced. The man gave a half smile.
Sometimes simple things lead to big stories, but don't worry. There's nothing against you or your family.
Dexter still had many questions, but he knew he wouldn't get all the answers at that moment. He nodded to the man and rode back home, his mind full of unanswered questions. As he pedaled back, he realized that his encounter with Lily had triggered something much larger than he could have imagined, and that his quiet life might not be so quiet anymore. That evening at home, trying to distract himself with his favorite video games, his mother called him from the living room.
Dexter, there's someone here who wants to talk to you,
she said with a perplexed look. Intrigued, Dexter paused his game and walked to the living room, where a surprise awaited him. Lily was there, standing, but her appearance was completely transformed. Elegantly dressed in a blue wool coat and polished shoes, she looked like a totally different person from the one he had met at the bus stop.
Dexter, my dear, thank you for coming. I need to tell you a story,
said Lily with a warm smile. Dexter, still a bit shocked, nodded affirmatively. Lily continued,
What you did for me the other day was not just a simple act of kindness. It was a test, and you passed with flying colors. A test? I don't understand,
stammered Dexter, confused. Lily looked at the man in the suit, who stepped forward.
Allow me to explain, Dexter. My name is Mr. Carter, and I am Lily's personal lawyer. She is a very wealthy woman who was looking for someone to inherit her fortune, someone who would prove to have a genuinely good heart.
Dexter felt the ground shift beneath his feet.
But why me? Your generosity towards me that day did not go unnoticed, Dexter. I was undercover on the streets to find someone who acted with true kindness without expecting anything in return,
Lily explained.
Your choice to share your sandwich with me without hesitation was exactly what I was looking for. So it was a test?
Dexter asked, still trying to process the information.
Yes, a very important test for me,
Lily replied.
I grew up in very humble circumstances and was fortunate to prosper in my business over the years. Now I want to ensure that my fortune is used to help others, and I needed to find the right person for that.
Dexter looked at his mother, who was just as surprised as he was, seeking confirmation.
Madam Lily, I really don't know what to say,
Dexter began, his voice trembling slightly.
You don't have to say anything for now,
Lily said, stepping closer and placing a reassuring hand on Dexter's shoulder.
You have a lot to think about. We want you to continue being the wonderful person you are, and if you eventually decide to accept, there will be much to learn and a lot of good you can do.
Lily's invitation planted the seeds of a new reality in Dexter's life, one that extended far beyond his small house and simple life. It was a surprising revelation that opened the doors to a future full of possibilities and responsibilities. After the surprising revelation that Lily was a disguised millionaire, Dexter faced an opportunity that would change his life. But before he could accept the inheritance, Lily explained that there was one final series of tests that Dexter would have to face. Each challenge was carefully planned to assess not only his abilities and intelligence, but, crucially, the integrity of his character.
Dexter, I need to be sure you have the qualities necessary to manage my fortune responsibly and ethically,
Lily stated during a subsequent meeting in her elegant library. The first challenge was a test of generosity and empathy. Dexter was given a significant sum of money and a mission to help a community in need.
I want to see how you manage resources when they can make a real difference,
Lily explained. Dexter decided to use the money to buy and distribute food and clothing, spending days organizing donations and talking to residents to understand their needs. The second challenge tested his honesty and integrity. Lily arranged for Dexter to be offered an apparently lucrative deal, but involving dubious practices.
What will you choose, Dexter? Easy profit or the right path, even if it's the hardest?
She asked, observing his decision closely. Dexter, after some hesitation and analysis, decided to refuse the offer, explaining that he wouldn't feel comfortable prospering at the expense of others. The third and final challenge focused on his resilience and leadership skills. Lily entrusted Dexter with the responsibility of one of her struggling small businesses.
I want to see how you handle pressure, and if you can inspire and lead people when things are not going well,
she declared. Dexter worked side by side with the employees, discovering the business's challenges and implementing new strategies to motivate the team and improve results. After each challenge, Lily convened Dexter for a feedback meeting where they discussed his actions, decisions, and the reasoning behind them. During these sessions, Dexter was transparent about his choices and what he had learned from each experience.
Dexter, you have demonstrated a deep understanding of what it means to be a fair and ethical leader,
Lily stated after the final challenge.
You have thought of others before yourself, maintained your integrity under pressure, and shown incredible adaptability and leadership.
Moved and somewhat overwhelmed by the responsibility entrusted to him, Dexter felt a mix of pride and anxiety.
I promise to do my best to honor your trust, Lily, and I really hope to make a difference.
Through these challenges, Dexter not only proved his worth, but also grew enormously, learning about himself and what kind of person he wanted to be in the future. As Dexter delved into the challenges set by Lily, he was led to explore uncharted territories, both geographically and emotionally. With each new challenge, he stepped away from the comfort of his home and small community, venturing into different cities and even other countries. This not only broadened his worldview, but also fostered unexpected friendships that enriched his journey in many ways. During the first challenge, while working in an underserved community, Dexter met Anna, a volunteer dedicated to social projects. Anna shared with him effective techniques on how to manage limited resources and maximize positive impacts. Together, they planned distributions and organized workshops to teach practical skills to the residents. Dexter absorbed her words, realizing that every act of generosity wove a stronger web of community and mutual support. This lesson was reinforced during the second challenge when, after refusing the lucrative but dubious deal, he was approached by one of the investors.
You are young, Dexter,
the investor began,
but you have shown wisdom beyond your years. Integrity is a rare quality, and it will serve you well.
The third challenge introduced Dexter to Scarlett, a seasoned businesswoman who specialized in rescuing failing companies. Scarlett had a strategic vision that complemented Dexter's more personal approach. She taught him to balance empathy with tough decisions, saying,
Leading means making difficult choices, Dexter, but doing so with compassion is what keeps us human.
In each new city or country he visited, Dexter learned something valuable about local cultures and human diversity, enriching his understanding of the world and himself. The true wealth, he learned, lay in shared experiences and human connections that transcended geographical and social barriers. Reflecting on his adventure, Dexter realized how much he had grown. From a curious and generous boy, he had become a young leader armed with knowledge, empathy, and a deep understanding of the impact an individual can have.